Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Detective Pikachu, the Pokemon movie that came out this week. Look, I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. Right off the bat, I'm letting you guys know. I grew up more in the late 80s, early 90s. That was my time of being a kid. I think by the time of the late 90s, early 2000s, I was already in high school. Yeah, I was still watching Power Rangers, but it was more because of nostalgia. I grew up accepting that series for what it was. I know it was really cheesy, but every kid show is really cheesy in their own unique way. If you show it all to my father, Pokemon, Power Rangers, he doesn't care. They're all the same bullshit by the end of it. So, with Pokemon, for myself, I kind of missed the boat on it. Even though I was still watching Power Rangers, I was also getting into more like cooler things like Star Wars and stuff like that. So, and bigger superheroes that are even more popular today than they were back then. So with Pokemon, my brothers were more into that show. They were into the playing cards, the video games. I did watch the show a little bit because they watched it. I know I've seen all of season one, and then after season one, when they kept continuing it, my brothers kind of were starting to get off of it. But they did get me hooked into the Game Boy games. So I did play Pokemon Red and Blue and Gold, or Yellow, I think it was. Maybe Gold and Silver as well. I don't remember now. And obviously, a few years ago, Pokemon Go, that was the thing. Even though I wasn't a huge Pokemon fan, I did like the concept of the game for a while and did play it for at least maybe a year. And then got bored of it along with other people playing with it as well at the time. So going into this movie, when I heard a Detective Pikachu movie was in the works, I said, this is terrible. I do not have any interest in this movie. And then the first trailer came out, Ryan Reynolds doing the voice, and I'm like, okay, I'm sold on this movie now. So my interest did peak when the first couple of trailers hit. And I went to this movie, no expectations. I didn't know what to expect. The movie could still be a disaster. And I'm happy to say, it was an enjoyable film. It was an enjoyable little film. But I'm going to say this much. If you are not a Pokemon fan or not aware of an idea of what this world is, this movie might not be for you. I can't see people really hating on this movie because it is a family film. And, with family films, you have to go in mind that this is for kids. And if you're an adult, I hated this movie because it was too cutesy and stuff. I don't know what people would hate this movie for. It's a cutesy little film that has a very simple, predictable story that anybody could solve. It's not really a mystery at all. The mystery is easy to figure out, which I won't spoil here, don't worry. But in the beginning of the movie, let's just say, I figured it out maybe the first half hour, 40 minutes in. So I kind of knew where they were going with it. There were some things that they kind of had a little twist on, but it's kind of predictable as well when you think about it. It's kind of weak, too, in the way they reveal it. There are some cool things. If you are going in this movie to see the Pokemon themselves, I think you're going to have a good time, because there are Pokemon that even I recognized from the olden days that I was like, oh yeah, that one was so useless, or that one was one of the cool ones, or stuff like that. Like, my favorites were, even though I wasn't a huge fan, my favorites were, because my brothers kind of showed me and got me to understand some of them. Charizard was one that I was looking forward to, or Pikachu, obviously. Squirtle was pretty cool too, and Blastoise. So, see, I do know some of the names. I was trained a little bit, but I don't know all of them. Like, some of them, their name, like Magikarp was one of the stupid ones, I remember. I never loved Psyduck when I watched the show originally, but I ended up loving Psyduck in this movie. I thought he was a really enjoyable character to have a Pokemon to have around. I was like, by the end of it, I wanted a Pikachu and I wanted a Psyduck because those two ended up, well, Pikachu more because of Ryan Reynolds. Because if you're going in to this movie for Ryan Reynolds, I'm gonna say that obviously he delivers on that front. You can tell they let him ad lib a lot, so that was good for them. But a lot of the jokes, specifically from the human part of it, do fall flat a little bit. There was one moment in this movie that was really funny, though, that I think a lot of people are agreeing with, because I have heard other reviews. And as soon as I saw it, I immediately knew what people were talking about. The mime scene, you see it in the trailer, the mime scene is probably the funniest part in this entire movie. There are some other funny moments too, but for the most part, like I said, I think a lot of the jokes fall a little flat for the most part. But look, I think the world that this movie creates is really cool. And if they made a sequel, look, I wouldn't be jumping for joy, but I would be curious to see where they go from here. And hopefully they keep certain actors and certain elements around. Hopefully they add some new elements, because I really did want to see more Pokemon battles. This movie seemed to be sort of against that. I don't know. Maybe I was looking too deep into it, but it's like animal abuse or something. They didn't say that, but it feels like that's what they were kind of hinting at or something. That's not right to make Pokemon battle each other. But they do give you a little bit of that, so if you are a fan of the overall world of the video games and the cartoon, you do get some of that. And there are obviously references to the game and the television show as well. So look, I'm giving this movie a 7 out of 10. I thought it was enjoyable, but I didn't love it. But look, if I saw it on TV or Netflix again, I wouldn't mind having it on in the background, because it was pretty enjoyable, and just stopping once in a while to enjoy some of the cool moments of the movie. Right? It's very simple. You can turn off your brain a little bit, take the kids, have fun. This is definitely for the kids, this movie. So if you want a good family film, one that you'll be okay with, it's not one that will hurt your brain. You'll have a good time with it. If you don't have kids, you might want to skip this one, unless you really are a huge Pokemon fan. So and want that nostalgic craze, I think this might be a movie for you then. So with that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and remember to comment below and leave your thoughts on the movie. I like to hear what other people are thinking. I'm always looking at what other people are thinking. It's good to see what, I want to invite people to my channel and make them feel like their channel is my channel. My channel is their channel, whatever. Except I'm the one making the videos and you guys are the one criticizing me. So with that being said, maybe there's something I missed. Who knows? Until next time, take care.